Hi there. I'm pretty sure I'm live, so I'm just gonna give it a few minutes for you guys to find us and for you guys to, make sure that everything is working. I'm gonna check on my phone. There's a little bit of a delay between what is being recorded and what you guys are watching, so I'm just gonna make sure that, everything is working before we get started. So I'm not ignoring you. I'm just checking. So okay, and I'm live, so I see myself. And I know, like I said, there's a bit of a delay. So you're in the past, I'm in the future already, just in case. So, hello everyone. We still have a few minutes. I just wanted to come a little bit earlier. One, because I was ready. Second, because just in case, you never know. Um, but we are gonna have, we're gonna work today on a project. So, like I said, just bear with me for a little bit. We're just gonna make sure that everybody can find us. I'm just moving screens right now to make sure that I can see you. Okay, so let me just make this a little bit smaller. I have like 10 screens on right now. So if you guys could see my command center. Okay, so there we go. Okay, so let's get started. Hi there, my name is Natalie D'Souza. I'm part of the design team for Hip Kit Club, and I'm going to be your host for the next little bit. I'm going to show you a new project featuring the September 2024 kits. And these are actually really fun kits. So I'm coming to you from Toronto, Canada. It's 2 o'clock in the afternoon here. Um, I know that some of you might be watching live. Thank you for joining us live. But if you are not, because life happens, this time might not be like, the best for you. Let us know where you're watching from. If you're watching on replay, still let us know where you're watching from. I really like to know how far and wide we can reach. Um, yes, it is fall here in the Northern Hemisphere. I don't know what part of the world you're in. It's getting a bit chilly and, not super cold. Still like nice. It's like 12, 15 degrees, which is like really nice for Canada. But I have elderly dog, it's a senior who doesn't go for walks no more. So our balcony got transformed into a play, into his doggy walk route, whatever you want to call it. So if you hear noises because he's going in and out of the balcony and I can't close the door. So that's what maybe why my apartment is a little bit colder than usual because like I said, we have a dog that needs his needs need to be is a priority for us. So the door remains open most of the time for him to be able to go in and out. So if you hear a little bit of noise, my apologies. I'm gonna try to close the door once I flip the camera, and I know that he's gonna take a nap. So keep an eye, our fingers crossed. But okay, so it's 2 o'clock. I know that Kimberly says she was going to help us today with moderate, so we're gonna, give her a few minutes. If not, we're just gonna get started. I am gonna be working today with the September 2024 kit, and it's actually a beautiful kit. It's very bright. It's perfect for that transition time between summer and fall or any other like season. Even like I know that the southern hemisphere is going from you going into spring, if I'm not mistaken. I'm saying this because I am from Ecuador too, so I'm from the southern hemisphere, and I know that my family, is on the opposite side of where I am at. Even though we don't have 4 seasons in Ecuador, we only have like 2 seasons. But just so you know. So, but it's actually great for like those transition months. It's great for everyday life. If you have like kids that are going to school, this kit is perfect. If you have boys, there's a lot of things that are like, it's very versatile. So what we are going to work on today is I'm going to show you like a layout that it's kind of like it's going to have a boy vibe to it. We're going to use the stamps. I'm going to show you a fun idea to use the stamp to give it a different look. So like I said, we're going to give it a few minutes. I am going to flip the camera because I'm going to tie my hair and drink some water. And like I said, I'm going to close the door. And then we're going to chat all about the kit. So there you go. Just give me 1 second. Like I said, I have to close the door. Okay. Sorry about that. You're probably going to hear me better because I'm closer to the microphone. And like I said, we, happen to have a senior dog, which means that his needs come like, first, and that means that he needs to, do his necessities. So we need to keep the balcony door open. We set up the entire balcony is now like a little play area. He doesn't walk that much, but he's our baby, so he's our priority at the moment. My kids are older, so they work out of the house. They're not here. I'm by myself with the dog. So I have my kids here ready. I have my papers here, my basics, and also the essentials. So the name of the kit is Good Things Ahead, and I love it. And I also have all the things over here. So I'm gonna pull it up because I have my little trays set up. And I see I have all my embellishments. I have everything separated and ready. I lost some stuff, which I'm hoping is from there. And I have my picture. So let me just set it up on my table and we're gonna get started. Hopefully I don't drop anything because I'm good at that. So let me pull out my paper. Like I said, hello everyone. All the papers are here. I'm not gonna go through them. I know that Kimberly went through them in one of her live sessions. She showed you the entire kit, but I have them here just so you know. Beautiful colors. So, like I said today, we're going to work with the stamp. So I've done a little bit of work ahead of time. This is the stamp set that we're going to use today. This is the Star Texture stamp. And it comes, I think, in the color kit. And this month's color kit has these 3 colors of Lindy's Magical Shakers. So you have this, like I said, we're going for like kind of a boyish vibe for this lip. So what I have created ahead of time, and I'm going to show you, just because it needs a little bit of extra drying, is I created this stars. So what this stamp looks like once you stamp it, it looks like this. So it has like an alphabet creating the design of the stamp. And I've gone already and like I said, I stamped it to give it kind of like that messy look. I do a little bit of prep ahead of this. This is the wrong way. This is the way. So I have a few here that I created, and I'm going to show you how to do this. So we're going to start with this because it needs some drying time. And you're going to see that I'm staying with, the name of this one is Portrait Blazer Blue. It's the one that I want to use. Like I said, let's go with the boy layout for a change. So I have a piece, and this is 100-pound cardstock smooth from Michaels. Now, even though it's smooth, it has a little bit of a tooth. So what I mean by that, it has like a texture to it, and it's like soaks up a lot of liquid. So I like it when I'm stamping the way I'm going to do today, just because it gives you that kind of watercolory look, which I'm going for. So I have my stamp. You see that I have a few things here. You see my baby just went outside. Open the door again. So sorry about that. If you hear the cars beeping, it's because my balcony is really big and he's like outside right now. So I have my stamp ready. I have a piece of acetate. You can have like, I don't know if you have like a palette or anything that you do your mixing of colors or use for painting or anything. You're going to need something that is like non-porous. What I mean is that it's not going to soak up the water. So I have a piece of acetate. This is just like a cover of like a paper pad, I think. So I have it handy. And I have some water. I have a brush. I have some paper towels. I have tissues, which I always have on my table. So what we're going to do is we're going to create the ink using the magical shaker. Again, this is Portrait Blazer Blue, which is part of the color kit this month. So you're just going to need a little bit. You don't need a lot. I'm going to put a bit of the powder there. Keep this handy on the side. See that I close it because I opened the other one and I forgot to press on that little, the little, I don't know what you call it, this little cap thingy. And I put it away. When I opened it, I like everything spilled on the table. And trust me, those things are magical. They just show up in your project when you least expect it. So I'm just gonna add water to this. And what it's gonna do is just gonna rehydrate the powder and activate the color. So that's all I'm doing. Just going to mix it up a bit. You're not gonna need a lot. So you're just gonna need a little bit. And literally what you're creating is, you can say watercolor. In this case, we're gonna use it as watercolor ink for the stamp. So, and that's a lot of water. So I'm just stretching it. If you want to go darker or more powder, completely up to you. But like I said, looks about right. Okay, so let me just set this aside. Okay, so I have my stamp here ready, and my brush just dropped on the table, and there's like paint on my laptop. So I've already prepped my stamp, but what I did is I just rubbed an eraser just to take a little bit of film. Any stamp that you get, regardless, comes with a little film from manufacturing. So just like use an eraser to take that out, or you can rub it on your clothes and that film comes out. And that way, when you stamp, you don't get like that beaded look. You get like that nice and like complete look to it. So what I'm doing is I'm taking my stamp and I'm just going to just think of it as ink. Okay. It's going to get it. You're gonna see I'm gonna put it all over. You're gonna see that the water is gonna pool in your stamp, and that's okay. That's what I say. You don't need a lot of water. Just a little bit is gonna do what you want to create. And I'm gonna play with the water a bit. I don't want a lot, so I'm gonna tap it a bit to let go of the water. I'm gonna come. You can use this in watercolor paper if you wanted to. Go ahead and stamp. And now here's the smart part. Is like, where do you want to deposit the ink? That's where you're gonna lift it. So I want to like, see how the ink is gonna pull towards the center? Wherever I like, pull it up there. And there's a bit of the definition, but not completely. I still have ink here. I still have some, so I'm gonna go ahead and do a second stamping, so second generation. I'm gonna lift it the opposite way so the water is gonna pull towards the bottom. Yeah. That's how I created my stamp. My star, sorry. I'm gonna set it aside to dry. I'm not gonna touch it. I'm gonna go one more, even though I have already quite a few that I created. Yeah. A bit more. Kind of shake the excess bit. We're gonna stamp one more. Put it in between here. Oh, press. Again, decide which side you want to have, like, that watercolor, like kind of the puddle of ink. So I'm gonna put it towards the left here. So I'm gonna lightly lift it. There we go. So we're gonna set this aside to dry. It's gonna take a little bit to dry. I'm gonna clean my stamp until then. And this you're gonna need a little, like, just because of the nature of the medium that you're using, the powder, it is going to stay in between, like, the crevices of the design. So you want to be like, especially if you're going to use it after, you want to make sure that you clean it properly. So I'm going to go with a little bit of a baby wipe. I am going to add water. I did this in the morning. That's how I, realized that some of the powder stayed behind and I had to, like, go ahead and clean it. So a wipe works good. If you have a chamois, it works great too, but you just want to make sure that you have extra water to get rid of all the medium that's left behind. And I'm going to set that aside to dry. So I'm going to put it here so you see. So I'm just going to let it dry. And because the water's still there, so I'm going to just play with it a bit. Now, like I said, we're going to let it dry. Now, if you want to, like, what I did after I dried them is I fussy cut them. You can use the die. This one is the nested stars die. You can fussy cut it or you can use the die. It actually matches. The only thing that you have to keep in mind, I'm going to show you, is that this one, when you put it on, is going to give you quite a bit of an offset. So I did not want to have that much of an offset. That's what I'm choosing to fussy cut it. But there is a die that matches it. Okay. So just so you keep that in mind. Put it back. We are going to use the die though. So I'm gonna show you what else I've stamped, and you're gonna see that I fussy cut. This is like the original, and I probably put it in my with my stamp so I know what it looks like. And then I have a few. So you see, this is one like the first generation, second generation. So there's less water, there's more of the design of the stamp. This one, there was a little bit of extra water, so kind of you lose some of it, but it gives you that like kind of mixed media effect that the reason why I went with this is because I was inspired by one of the papers. So like I said, I have my stars. I'm going to set them aside. I am going to let this dry. I used a lot more powder on this than I did on this one. So I think I'm going to get a different color, which is what I want. So I'm going to just set this to dry. It took me a little while to dry. So I'm going to just put it on the side there. And I'm going to show you what else I created. So this here, I created with the new alphabet set. This is the bold alphabet stamp set. And I actually have the die too. So I went ahead and created ahead of time. I had two colors. This is navy ink because I want to bring out the color that I'm using on the stamps, on the star, sorry. And I use another color here. This one is Pool. And I'm using Altenew inks just in case you're wondering. And then the colors are that navy and Pool, which is like a teal and like navy. And those were the colors that were in the kit. So I thought, I can play with those, especially because I'm going with like a more of a masculine tone. I still do have the inks from last month's color kit. So this was actually matched. I stamped this one here with, what do you call it? Persimmon, which is the darkest color on these inks. So I'm trying to set up everything. So I've done that. Well, my star dries there. My stars dry. Let's show you what inspired my layout. So when I got my kit, I went through the papers and I have an idea what I wanted to create. So there was this paper full of stars, and I was like, good idea. But then I was looking at all the papers, and I really love this paper. And I'll tell you why I love it. The name of the paper is Make Your Mark. I love the fact that it has kind of a mixed media, like, feel to it, but it's not overwhelming. So it's not completely like, covering the entire page. It just gives you like, a perfect frame for anything that you're going to put on top of it. So this is going to be kind of my base. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and trim the extra, I don't know what you call it, branding bar, barcode. I'm going to go to the B side so I can see it. I can do it here too. So 12 inches. Looks about right. I don't know about you guys. I have the hardest time with like this type of cutters. I love my guillotine. Like my favorite tool in the world. I have a super hard time having like a straight cut with this for some reason. And I have to change the blades constantly, and that just drives me insane. So this is my paper. I have a picture of my husband. That's my husband. That's my daughter. That's my son. On his birthday. This was actually on my husband's birthday. So my idea is I want to have them here. I want to have all the stars cascaded on the side here, but I'm going to mix, and that's what I bring the blue. Let's say we're going with like, a masculine feel to this layout. Most likely we'll go to my son's pile of, layouts that he supposedly will take when, he leaves me. Okay, so this is kind of the idea that I have going on. So I want the stars to come down on the right-hand side of the paper. And I want it like just to bring the look from down here onto my stars. So I like that. You're gonna see that the ones that I stamp right now are a little bit lighter. So I'm letting it dry. I'm gonna show you how I fussy cut them. But I love the idea that you can see like, some of the stamping, and then you see those splotches of watercolor, which gives you the idea to bring these two together. So it kind of works in the same way. And we're gonna like, that's, if you want to consider that the messy part, it's really not messy. It's like a great way to, how am I gonna put it? to add mixed media to your projects without the mess. That's the best way that I can describe. You just kind of confining or just like tighten up your mess or your mixed media to just little spaces so it doesn't overwhelm your page. So I thought the stars were a great idea. But because like, even like you're looking at it, it's quite a bit. I am going to bring pattern paper to create, and I'm going to talk to you about it. I want something that has that mixed media look to it and it has some pattern. And I want something that's also going to rest your eye. So I want something that has more of a solid color, something that is going to contrast, because then I want to bring all the colors in here too. So just so you see what I'm going with, kind of the idea, we're going to add a few more stars. So we're going to work on the stars right now. I'm just going to set this to the side for now. So we have it like, a visual kind of cue. Have my little like cutting machine here. Very professional because I have, you're gonna see my shins. They're just like pieces of cardstock. And we're gonna pick up papers from here. So there's quite a bit to choose from, and I have both the kits. I have the basics and the essentials. So I know that I want to bring a little bit of yellow, even though it's not, I've said it many times, and please don't get upset at me because I'm going to say that it's not one of my favorite colors. Yellow, it's never have been a color that I'm very close to. But what I like about this paper is that it has like a tone on tone yellow. So when you're going to cut your star, it's going to look as if it was a solid instead of showing a lot of pattern. So love that about it. So I know that I'm going to get a bit of yellow from here. I know that I want to get a bit of kind of this star paper. So there's kind of a teal look going there. It's too busy. I need to go with papers that are like I said, you want a pattern that is a little bit softer, that is going to rest the eye because you already have that pattern going in the other stars. So just go through the papers carefully, see what you like. You're not going to get a lot of stars, but you're going to need a few extras. So I'm just taking a look. I want something that has like a little bit of pink. Might have to go to my essentials for that. And you don't I have my essentials here. I want something that has, I already have the yellow, but I want this tone here, which is cheeky, looks like a coral. And I want something that has this tone here. So I think I want to stay away a little bit from the pink. I am gonna add it. I think that I'm not afraid to add pink to my boy layouts. But I think that just so you see what it looks like, because you have to have a reference to how everything looks like. So you see you have your stars here, and these are gonna rest the eye. So you have some busy, like a little bit of like, think of it, a busier kind of star, and then you need something that is gonna make this pop and also fill up space. So you have to have a combination. If you were to have like more of like something that had a lot of pattern, just to show you, because we are all visual creatures, we need to see it to understand. So let's say I went with something like that. You see how busy it is. The other one disappears. So you need something that is gonna break a little bit of that to help you, like with making everything pop nicely on your layout. So what we're going to use to cut the stars, and I didn't do it ahead of time because I know that we're gonna use some of the nested stars. I'm gonna use the little one, the medium and the little one. Like I said, the big one actually matches the. Yeah, I think this one matches, and you can actually cut your stamp, like your star that you stamped with this too. I'm okay with fussy kinds. I'm gonna set to the start here. I have a pair of scissors here, and we're gonna go ahead and start cutting. I'm gonna be like, for now, I'm just gonna cut two, like a medium and a small. And I'm gonna do that with all the patterns. I might not go with the stars if I have this, but I know I want this. I'm just going to do nothing scientific. I'm just going to cut around the stars. Here, my little die cutting machine. And it's gonna take no time. So if you like don't want to stamp or like you want to you can go ahead and use the metal die and just cut start. Just consider what I said. Consider having something that has a pattern and something that has less of a pattern, more of a solid look. Just have everything pop nicely on your layout. You're gonna see once we have them all done. So, and the other thing too is that my stars are gonna change in size. They're not gonna be the same size. Pull this one out, set that aside. Gonna cut another one here. This is the part that's gonna take me the longest. And then embellishing a layer because I'm really bad at that. Building a back. I don't know about you guys. I'm like the kind of person that you tell me to build a background, it like I see something, it cuts my eye, I can do it on a heartbeat. Embellishing. I don't know, maybe because I put a lot of work into the background that I'm like, oh, I don't know if I want to cover a lot of stuff, but I don't know. Like I said, here we go. I'm just gonna set it aside for now there. Set it aside and it doesn't be. So with the other one again. And you can choose more colors if you want to. Like I am going to, even though I'm cutting this, I am not gonna put the papers away because I might actually need a few more. So trim about here. That's it, nothing, And I know there's some cute cut files this month, and I love cut files, but there's something about metal dies. And I wasn't that type of girl before. I gotta be honest. When I first started like scrapbooking, I have been keeping a journal and taking pictures of like keeping a journal my entire life. I have notebooks full with stuff since I was probably 8 years old or so. When my kids were growing up, I was a stay-at-home mom, and there was a lot of soccer and gymnastics and guitar and everything that you can think of. So I took a lot of pictures, wrote a lot of stories, never had the time to sit down and document or anything like that. So it was until my kids became like older, 16 and so, that I decided that, okay, now that my kids don't need me anymore, like not as much as before, then I'm going to start documenting. So that was around 2016, 2017. So first thing I did not buy a die cutting machine. I went straight to get a Cameo. Loved it. Love cut files. And like I said, there's some cute ones. And then eventually decided that maybe because my work too, I work a lot with stamp companies. I got a die cutting machine and I love using dies. One of my favorite things to use is dies. So whenever Kimberly sends the dies, I'm like, I love working with dies. I think there's so much you can do with just a small thing, and I think they're so versatile, and you can use them like for card making. You can use them for a lot of things, and sometimes to me, because like I said, I told you, first thing I bought was a Cameo. I did not go small. I went and bought myself a Cameo, and then after bought myself a die cutting machine. Now I own like four. I've broken like two. But it is what it is. Like I said, don't I know a lot of people are like, oh, but I have to fill a 12 by 12 page with dies, and that cut file takes a lot of space. Yes, it does, but there's a lot more that you can do with the dies too. So here we go. And I think actually, if you were to get this die, this one is gonna last you for think about Christmas. If you do like a December daily album, this is gonna be so nice. And there's always ideas. I don't know if your brain, you see something and your brain gives you 20,000 ideas. My brain works like that. I see something and I'm like, oh, I can do this and I can do that. And my husband's probably thinking just go to sleep, and I'm like, oh, no, it's not a good thing. So here we go. I'm cutting two of the small ones, one of the medium ones. I don't think I need a lot of stars because you don't want to overwhelm the page. Remember, we still have to add titles. We still have to embellish this. So what you are going to need though, this is going to need is actually a foam adhesive. Just because you want the details on the stars to pop out a little bit more. Let me just clean up my table here. Time to become crowded, and that's gonna drive me insane. So I'm just thinking about this one, if I wanna go with this or not. Let's try it. I'm gonna put this away. I'm just putting it to the side here. I'm gonna try this. Let's see. See, I reach for that. Yeah, you know what? Maybe the fact that I live in an apartment, I'm like just reading some of the comments. Maybe the fact that I live in an apartment, so like I have things, I don't have like, I wish. And I joke with my kids, I'm like, can you go leave already? I need like, I need the room to make it into like a craft room. That guys, I have enough stuff to make like two if I had to. But I'm not pushing them. That's the joke in the house. I don't think they're leaving it anytime soon. So but because like my working space is like the living room. I'm working out of the dining room table, but I do have a work table on the side, and I just don't want to use that. It's right next to the door, closer to the door than this, so I don't want to do that. So my cardio has always been I have like a unit where I have machines like that I use. So it's always been like I have to take it out and then stuff like that. So it's like a hassle to take it out. Maybe call me lazy. That's what I don't use it as much. But the die cutting machine is like I have a little like a cart next to me and I have it there. So I have like my really big one and my small one are handy. So anytime that I want to like do a project, because like I said, I work with quite a few stamp companies, I have a lot of dice handy. So it's always a good thing. But don't like, throw it away, and always like, think about what else can you do with the die besides the obvious. So there we go. I think I have enough. Like I said, I don't want to like overwhelm my page. This one is not coming out. So I'm gonna give it a little bit of help. Let me just pull this away. Okay. Sorry, I'm reaching underneath it, but I just need to clean up as we go along. So it's nice and clean. So let's see. I think my stamp is clean too, so I'm gonna put it away. Because again, like I said, someday in the near future, I might have, one of the kids' rooms to actually move my stuff there. But then again, like my husband goes, it's, when we bought the apartment, we never thought about them leaving. We just thought, we were so busy that I didn't have time to do snow and we get a lot of snow here or like the grass. So I was like, you know what? An apartment works great for me. There we go. We're just cleaning up stuff as we go. So I have my stars here. I have the ones that I die cut right now. Just gonna set the stuff here on the side. And I'm going to show you how I cut my stuff. And it's actually pretty simple. Okay. So I'm just going to kind of follow the line that the tips of the letters create. To follow the angle. And that's literally as simple as that. It doesn't have to be like super perfect. That's the beautiful, the joy of mixed media, if you want to say it. It doesn't have to be perfect, which makes it very, very nice to work with. I'm just kind of joining, like I said, tips of the letters in the stamp. Yeah. No time to build this. Looking at the time, perfect time. Like I said, I like to show you, like, from beginning to end, how I create something. I might have worked a little bit ahead of time because remember, guys, I'm live. I can, stamp 20 stamps and wait for them to wait, like, dry in an hour. So I have to do a little bit ahead, but pretty much is there. You're gonna see these ones are a little bit lighter. Same powder. I just used a little bit less for the others, for these stamps than the other ones. Okay. I keep going. And once we have that, we're going to set up the background. I have a pencil handy. And then I don't know, I don't know if you guys are the same as me. I like to like map things out on my pages. Doesn't mean that I like, draw lines and stick to it. No, it just means that I use a pencil to kind of create dots where everything is going to sit. And then it's like, it makes it super easy to put the layout together after. Maybe it's the fact that I've been doing lives for quite a bit, and I found that it was easier for me to like take some of the guess game of putting things together. But it's just, or maybe again, this all these maybes. Maybe it's just like, the engineering side of me that comes out on this. You know, that's I'm a math. I love math. So when it came time to decide what I wanted to do for my life before I became a mom, I am a chemical engineer. So math, chemistry, sciences are like something I geek out about. I think that's why my love of like straight lines comes from too. Here we go. Last one. See, nothing like special. I'm just following the lines of the stamp. And the reason that I have that mixed media look kind of allows me to do this. So mention this here. One more. Okay. Set this aside. And there we go. So we have my stamps here. Let's move this. The ones that we created die cutting. I'm just going to reach to my right. So I have my adhesive. I have adhesive here. Lots of it. And don't be afraid. If you don't want to, like, add foam adhesive because, it scares you and you don't want anything that adds dimension, that's okay. Completely up to you. We're not here to judge. So right now I'm just going to play with the paper to find out what's like, what is going to look the best. I already know that kind of like this here. Just because it's lighter, it's going to cover some of the darker area. There's less of, yeah, like this here. I don't know which, let me see. Okay, the barcode was cut from here. So just so you know which way I'm setting up my paper. Okay. Got my paper ready. Nothing to that stuff yet. So we're gonna play with this. See, there's 3 different sizes of stars, which is what you want. Okay. So let's set up the ones that have the ones that we like. I like this. I'm going to put, and because it's not like completely cut, I put it there. Nothing is gonna be glued yet. I like this a little bit lighter. Remember, think about it creating just like column of stars here. That's what we're going for. I want something in betweenish. My family members are writing, probably my mom. She lives with us. Yeah, another one here. It was, hear me yell because my mom and my husband. My husband. So somebody can take care of the dog. So I have another one here. I want to put one here. So that's going to be all you're going to add of stars. Okay? Hi, honey. See, my husband. Okay, and then we are going, don't worry if we're going to go off the page. Okay, so we are going to just setting everything up. So I'm going to get a pencil, like I said. You see, I forgot that part. Hi, honey. All I'm going to do is just kind of like add like little X's behind so I know where they're going to sit. Remember, this is going to be covered, so you can always erase them. So don't, worry about it. Because eventually I have to take everything out to put everything back in. So I'm going to creating a guide for me. Yeah. Here we go. I'm going to go with a little bit of the yellow. Remember, just want a little bit of like that extra bit of color popping out. And I don't want to, some of them I go on top. I think I want to go at the bottom for this. Just because I'm not a fan of yellow. Okay? Please don't get upset at me. I know some of you guys love yellow. Not a color that I enjoy. I want this a little, remember this one is not a complete star, so I don't want to kind of hide that edge there. I have this blue one here. I want to put it maybe over here on top of it. I have this kind of red one. And now that I want to hide it underneath. And I have the little ones. So I want one of the yellow ones here. So try a zigzag one here. So I'm going to probably put another one here. And then I have zigzag. So I'll probably have to go up here. And somewhere here. And this one, I'm going to think maybe up there or down here. Okay, so you see how I have my stars? Okay, so this one is pushing. And if I have to cut it a little bit more, right there. So I'm going to take out my picture carefully. And that's pretty much the formation. I could add another one if I want to, which I may, but I know that it's going to be hidden. So but I might just, for the effect, let's see. But I know that I want to add pattern paper to my picture, but it might get hidden. But you know what? Let's just add it for the effect. But most of this side is the one that you're going to see. Remember, you're going to put things, we're going to embellish a bit here and then a title. So our layout is semi-done. So let's go ahead and start gluing things in place. I'm going to start by gluing. I'm going to put pieces of foam adhesive, should I say better, in place just so it holds together for the time being. Once I'm off the camera, I'll go and secure everything in place. Just so remember, I'm working with a time constraint. So see, I'm gonna make sure that my stars that have, like, that I created with the stamp are the ones that are going to pop. So I am using foam adhesive to adhere them to my layout. I am right now at the moment just adding it to the center of the star on the back so that they stay in place. That's what I said, in case you decide to pull everything out to rebuild it, use a pencil to mark the back. It just helps. Okay, so, and another thing is, mixed media makes things a little bit slippery. So just keep that in mind. You might need a stronger adhesive than usual. And so here we go. And I think it's just a great way to, like I said last time, and I think if you've seen any, the previous live session that I created, for somebody that loves mixed media, and I love mixed media, and I enjoy working on it. It is a little bit difficult to show the whole entire process live, and because I've had this question many times, saying my layout doesn't look like yours, and I have most of it here, and I'm going. It's not that you're not doing the same thing that I'm doing, but mixed media is like the kind of thing that you do once. You're not going to get the same effect the second time around. That's just the nature of mixed media. Okay, so I have more stuff here. I'm going to set them aside. So don't get upset, if is that the word. If you look at something and then you want to recreate it and it doesn't look the same, it is a little bit hard. So by kind of confining, that's the word, your mixed media kind of in the start, then you're gonna have more of that same look going for all your pieces. I think I tried to explain the best that I can on that. So here we go. Just gonna put everything in place. Was it here? But for now it's there. And again, that's one of the reasons why I don't glue everything in place, or I glue to the center of the stars so that I can move them. For now, we're gonna put it here. This one might have to move somewhere here. So for now, we're just going to putting pieces together. And so that's my 2 cents for mixed media. Stamps and dies are a great way to help you create the look of mixed media without having to be a master at it. So, but then again, when I create projects and they're mixed media, it's a little bit hard to do live, because first of all, it requires a little bit of drawing time, sorry. One, and the look, even though I'm showing you how I create mine, yours is not gonna look the same. And like I said, I had quite a few people say, mine, I tried the same. And it's because I can show you how much water you're gonna put, but unless I'm right next to you, I cannot see it. So try it. Like mixed media, like for example, the stars is gonna be like play with it. Play with the amount of water, play with the amount of powder. And like I said, this is just think of it as like, different color combinations if you want to, that you can create for your layout. So I have more stars. I want to put this one here. So I'm going to get one there. Here. Go here. Okay, so we're gonna put my picture back in place. I want it right there. So it's when I have to see where I can, do I need to add more stars? Do I need to get some out? I know I need, so I'm thinking zigzag. I think we'll need to add this red one down here, kind of coming off the page. See? And my picture is kind of popping out because I have all this. Don't worry about it. Spaces. So I have this one here, but I think it's too busy, but it's just easy. I'm just gonna go with the two small ones. Just because I think I need like a little break here and a little break kind of right here. That's it. And I'm gonna walk away from the start. That's all you're gonna need of start. So let's put this one here. And I'm gonna lift up the page so you see the foam adhesive behind it, just in case you're like going, think it's a little bit too much dimension. It is not going to be. It might look deceiving, but it's not. So let me take out the picture. Okay. So you see, I don't know if you can see it. It's not much. The reason why it looks like a lot is because I fussy cut the stars, so the tips are kind of coming up, but it's not. Okay. But you have the nice shadow that makes it all nice in your page. Now, what I have to do is trim the excess, but we'll do that in a bit. Let's just clean up. My picture is gonna sit right there. So what I like to do to my photos is I like to make them pop on my layout without like, making them like kind of stand out a lot. So what I'm going to do and what I do a lot is I use like pieces of cardstock that I would have thrown, like when I cut the stars. It's going to. When I add cardstock to the back or like chipboard, usually use chipboard, it's just make the picture sturdier. It adds a little bit of dimension without a lot of bulk. And I show you in 2 seconds. Okay. Make this sturdy. Little bit of dimension. There's not a lot of bulk. And then I have garbage. I would have just thrown that piece of cardstock, but it just helps me with this. I'm gonna give it a second, and you're gonna see what I'm saying. I have a cut from a project that I did yesterday, so I'm just gonna glue it back there. That's a negative cut. There you go. But my picture, even though it's like nice in that sea of stars, it does need a frame. Even though I like printed with like a little bit of a white background, a white frame, I do want a pattern paper that is gonna make it pop a little bit more. So I saw this paper and when I was moving things around, let me just bring the papers out again. Here we go. Here we go. So what's something that is going to bring more of that start? I think I'm gonna go with something navy for this. So this one. And I'm gonna stay within like, the main kit and the embellishment kit. I don't wanna go, and the color kit, I don't wanna go any further than that. Maybe this one. See? I think it needs to be something like really darker. I'm just seeing what options I have. Nothing flowery. So let me just play with this a bit. I like that. No, it needs to be a little bit more on the solid side. So we're gonna go with this. I'm gonna go ahead and just glue it with this. I'm just trying to read the comments as I go along. See, we're doing great on time too. Okay, this paper's name is Leave Me Alone. It's a great paper. That's what a great name, a great paper, great name. Now, here we go. Yes. It's not completely straight. I have my like I said, I love gill pins. I have them in 3 different sizes. Okay. There we go. The way. So now they're giving a little bit of like that frame. It's just gonna make it pop on the page. I think that's better. Just pops on the page. I might need to move the star a little bit to the left. Carefully. Carefully lifting it. Carefully moving it. Much better. So it's gonna sit right there. Okay, let me get a ruler to just make sure that it sits straight. There you go. How much he sit behind it. So then here. I am going to cut my foam adhesive. Remember how I said those tips of the stars are like popping out? One. Hold them in place. Okay, I'm gonna help myself with the grid in the background here to make sure that it's completely straight, my picture. I want everybody to go, so I'm just gonna make sure that anywhere else that I need. Okay, so I'm pushing down the other one with my foam adhesive. Take the picture and then we go into embellishing bits. And you're not gonna need much because you have all the stars and everything going on. You have the mixed media. You're not gonna need that much embellishing. So kind of on the center of the layer, a little bit lower. And make sure that it's straight. There we go. I'm gonna trim the excess from here on the sides. I'm gonna put a bit to the back. See, I have another star here. Where did this one come from? Yellow, yellow. So we done this somewhere here. Yeah, that looks fine. So let's trim the excess. The top two. There we go. So I'm gonna go ahead and secure these little corners here. One, I want to secure this down here. So just bear with me while I do that. And then we're gonna go into the embellishing. And you're gonna see that I am not going to put a lot for this. I'm just going to get this one here. A little circle here. I want to make sure that they don't start. There we go. Then the rest I'll secure outside of the camera. Okay, let's see. Yeah, so now this one here, it's the main kit. This is what you get in your main kit. You get ephemera, you have which I love, chipboard, and I actually pulled this. It says today celebrate, and I wanted to put it here. So I'm gonna talk to you a little bit of why I'm putting my title there. See how my stars are going all the way vertically? My title is gonna come horizontally with this line and this line meet. Sorry, I'm just using like my hand. See where the lines meet? That's where my photo is gonna sit. So the stars are going vertically. My title is gonna go horizontally. Where those two lines collide, that's where my picture is gonna go. Again, I'm geeking out on this because it's just gonna give you the best placement for your picture to make it pop on your layer. So When I put it here, in my title, I'm gonna add more to this down here. So let's just set this in place. This one I already kind of considered before, like, when I was going through the stuff and pulling my picture, I was like, oh, this is my husband's birthday. So, make sure that it's nice and straight. Perfect. I need more formatty stuff of this kind. Because of the black. I have like different heights of adhesive. I don't know, width, thickness, I don't know. So this one is one of the thickest ones that I have. Again, let me just make sure that it's nice and straight. Yeah. And those alphas that I stamped, I have them here. So I think I want to put the word you. So let me just find them. This part I didn't do. I just stamp and die cut, stamp and die cut, and put it in the box. I have an O. I have a U. I need a Y. But I'm going to show you how I'm going to play with this. I have a U. I don't know, where's my O? I should have separated them by colors, but I didn't. Q. I have another O. I need to find a Y in both colors. I have a Y. You see what the look here of like the shadow? We're gonna create kind of the same effect with our alphas. So let me just find a Y that is like navy in my little container here. Again, like I said, not very smart, like not separating them. So just bear with me. I'm sorry, I should have separated the two alphabets, but I was like, it'd be easier to find the Y. There we go. Yeah. And you know what? Actually, I saved this because I thought it was like genius. I love the look of this. Isn't that great? Like, I'm a 6x8 kind of TN person. That's like my everyday goes on that. I think it would be perfect on the background of like a layout, like on a 6x8. So I like, my husband calls it hoarding. I call it saving for a better day, you know? So I have my letters here. Yeah. Okay, we're gonna go keep the same effect that you see here in the shadow. We're gonna do it with my letters. So let me set this aside for now. Let me just get this. I have some glue here. Yeah. So just see how the shadow is like showing towards the bottom right of the letters. We're gonna do the same here. Get some. Gonna add my glue to the Y here. I'm gonna come in. I'm gonna glue it a bit on the offset. So you see that kind of that shadowy effect. And you can, like, if you buy the die or you can actually die cut them, but I think it's nice to have the option of like creating your own colors for this project. And that's why I decided to stamp them. Go with the O. Okay, you can see that I'm gonna help myself with here so that I know it gives you an approximation of how much you have to create your shadow. A grid is always a good, like to have like something that helps you with the grid is always a good thing to have handy. See how I'm creating the effect, the shadow right there? Yeah. Another one using the negative piece. I know, isn't it great? I thought it was great. I think there's like something like maybe like I said, my husband probably thinks, oh my God, just throw it, you can die cut it. But then I'm like, I don't know. It's just why would you like throw it? You can use it. Like I said, if you do a 6x8, that's the perfect, like to create your backgrounds and stuff like that. If you do 12 by 12, you might need two, but in a 6 by 8, which is, or a TN, which is what I do on a regular basis, they're perfect. So let me see, I just put up my hand. See, have my little letters. I'm gonna show you. Bring back my layout. So I'm following kind of the same look that I have going on. It is gonna need foam adhesive. Okay. So maybe you can use it for a stencil too. Like if you want to save it for a stencil, I mean, I'm not an advocate that you should hoard. I'm not advocating that, you become a hoarder. No. But there are things that, you could use that can give you like a great effect. For example, like Kimberly saying, you can use them as a stencil in your project. That is going to give you the dimension you're looking for. And that like, nice kind of shadow on your project without the bulk. So something to consider. And why you love metal dies, or why do I love metal dies? Because see, here we go. Wish we had like, I wish it was numbered because I was thinking, oh, maybe I can put the like how old he is here, but I couldn't find numbers. Let's see. The keys. And I'm gonna need my ruler to set this in place, make sure that the letters are not like everywhere. The space right here is gonna be perfect for it. Because I have the star and it's gonna be right underneath it, like they're not gonna be flying in the sky. Like there's something about like having pieces just like sitting on a layout. You need to give them somewhere like to ground, like something to hold on to. But I have the stars and I have the titles, and that's why I went with the same look, so it looks like unified and it looks like it works all together. It's semi-straight. Yeah, and numbers will be great. Numbers will be selfishly awesome. See, start with let's start backwards. Numbers will be great. Maybe numbers a little bit bigger. If you do a December, like if you guys do a December daily, like do you guys like number every day, or do you just like, go ahead and just do whatever you like, not follow like, a chronological order? I gotta tell you, in December, I usually use like two big albums because there's a lot happening in our Decembers. We were blessed with having both our kids be born 4 days apart, 2 days before Christmas and 2 days after Christmas. Don't ask, we were blessed that way. So that makes our Decembers really busy. Always been like parties and get-togethers and birthday parties and stuff like that. So I need two albums. So numbers will be, perfect. See, you follow the same look and you make sure you attach it to one of the stars. And then, they don't look like the letters are flying in space, but they're actually, grounding on the layer. And right now we're just gonna add a few extra things. You are not gonna need much more. And it's not because, you can go ahead and embellish. It just has a lot going on. You want everything to actually pop nicely on your layout. Sometimes you hear these lines and it's like, you guys can have to like step away from it. And it's true. Sometimes you gotta, step a little bit outside and take a look at what you're doing and then think about it. Think about like, okay, do I need to add more? If you're like, again, there's maximus, there's minimus, there's like, just enough, there's whatever you do, go ahead. It just, I just want everything to nicely like, pop. So what I'm gonna do is add my see, people are talking about dice. Yeah, you gotta save your dice. I know that again, there's quite a few people, and because I know a few that decided that, oh, you know what? I am going to actually use my Cameo and I'm not gonna give my dice and give it away. And they're like, kind of kicking themselves because they had to buy a second machine and all that stuff. So I'm just again, I'm not gonna tell you what to do. Just don't get rid of them. It's a great investment. That's what I'm saying. So I'm just going through the steps. See, like I always tell you, the worst thing for me is like embellishing. Looking at, I like this right here. I like the circle. That means that I'm gonna have to find more circles to tie that together, but I'm just going with like something a little bit tone on time. Okay, keep on smiling. Oh God, I wish my family would listen to this. I don't like that. Bring the circles together. Okay, so I move it a little bit there. Not too, like, the orange is great, but it doesn't go with what I have going on. So instead, I'm gonna kind of cover the orange with this unforgettable little tab there. I like that. I need another circle, so the circle will have to go down here. So let me see what I have in my little stash here. This one here is from, yeah, I gotta look at the back of it to tell you. These two are from the ephemera that comes in your main kit, just in case. This unforgettable is from the embellishment pack. Just thinking about it. Let me see what is here, here and now. No, I have right here already. Let's not be redundant. I just need to find another circle. This way, photo booth. Oh my God, there's tea. And I saw that there's a lot of things about coffee in this kit. And I was like, oh, whoever decided to put coffee stuff, I am so thankful because that is my favorite thing in the world. Coffee. So I was like, yes. I'm just trying to find a circle that is same size and like goes. I think I want to go with something blue with a little bit of orange. So I'm just going to the stuff. Like I said, I am good at setting it up. It's embellishing, the one that takes me a little bit longer. I kind of like this winner, but it's a little bit too small. I need something a little bit bigger to kind of balance this out. But but that's a coffee, so that's not a good thing. And you're gonna see, like, stick with me, guys. You're gonna see a lot of coffee showing up because I take a lot of pictures of my coffee. I don't know why. Mm. Oh, good. Let's see here. I'm just trying to go see like everything that I have here. That time again. See, I need something like kind of in this tone here. It has to be around the same size. That's why. Oh, great fun. Oh, I like that. Okay, forget about that. I don't want to add more dimension. I think I like this one here. And this came from the ephemera kit. I like that there. Okay, so let's adhere those already. Oh, I will never get upset if you add coffee. I like tea too. Don't worry about it. I'm like equal, like, I'm good with caffeine, any way you put it. My husband's here, so he can attest for that. I might be a caffeine addict, a coffee addict. I I grew up drinking coffee, so for me to go to sleep, I have to drink coffee. It sounds bad, but it doesn't have the effect that people always say, oh, if I drink coffee, I'm gonna be awake the entire night. I'm like, I drink coffee and I'm like zonked out. Again, comes from my background. I grew up in South America and we were taught since little, like, at the end of the day, you drink coffee to warm up, to go to bed, and then you go to bed and you sleep. So my body is like accustomed to, okay, you drank coffee, time for bed. So we up can have a coffee around 9, 10 o'clock and then go to bed, no problem. See my triangle? And I know that it's not for everybody. Some people like, react differently. Again, grew up in South America, no aversion to coffee. I can drink coffee the entire day. I go to bed, no problem. Like I said, the orange is not working for me, but I'm gonna make the rest work. So I'm gonna just cover with this little tab. Okay. See how my little circles are working here? So now I'm going to add something else like to complement it. Here, it is a pop of shine. So I saw in the embellishment kit because I have it outside. So these little gold dots. And I see heart. I'm gonna need this. And I also see here pocket stickers. They're a great thing. So I'm gonna pull this two out. I want a different texture. I have chipboard, I have paper, so the puffy sticker is like a great thing to bring a different texture here. Okay, so don't feel bad for the tea drinkers. They, they always stand, so they're okay. No, I'm just kidding. There's a lot of people that cannot drink tea, and tea is delicious. See how a little bit of gold is gonna help you here? And I want to put them like in between the stars. So I'm just adding them while I'm talking to you. Um, I like tea. I drink it. I don't drink it with milk or anything. See, South America, we were taught to drink it either black or with lemon. So, but I know some friends that will tell you, put like, other like a hard liquor will be a nice, sticker because it's needed. Put a wine one. It's very welcome, you know. Equal opportunity. So I'm just going to kind of zigzagging my little stuff. I'm going to a dark blue. For now, I'm just adding a little bit of gold because it needs a little pop of shine. Okay, so you see like a little bit of shine and I'm going zigzagging. So my eye is gonna pop throughout the entire layer. Okay, we have that. I'm gonna go with the dark blue accents. We need a heart. Dark blue, we need something dark blue up here. I'm just seeing what do we have. I'm gonna actually move this one here. This one over here. Another stone here. Since I had to add a star over there, I don't have another one. So let's go with the heart. Too much. See one of these little stars here. Star, star, star. Okay, the gold in between the stars. Okay, and it needs something else. So I see what I see now here. Robins. Okay. I'm going to cut. Let me just be careful with this. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna cut the stars here. Just to make sure that I can use it after, because of course we finished it when I needed it. It's gonna cut a few. I don't know that I need this much. And I just staple it so it doesn't move whenever I cut it. I've had some that once I cut, they moved and the adhesive became obsolete. So I've learned from experience to staple the edges to keep it together. So I'm going to just kind of just cut them into strips here. Okay. So we're gonna accent this a little bit more. And I'm just using my nail. Just in certain areas, not everywhere. Then zigzag. And I'm zigzagging because it's just gonna bring your eyes throughout the entire page. Lines with journal will be here. Let me see here. I don't want to add anything there. It's in the space here. Okay, let's go with the other color. I have this tealish color, which is the one that we use here. See, we're gonna go right here. Okay, 1, 2. We're gonna add the other one. 3. And then we're gonna add the navy one, and we're gonna call it a day after that. Okay, so it's there. And it's not navy, it's a different shade of blue, but we're going for something masculine, so we're staying away from the pink for today. Okay, here we go, another one, and then the blue one up here. And there we go. move this out so it's perfect. It needs a heart. It needs a heart come on here. So I'm just going to here. I know where I need the heart. Let me just get. There we go. There we go. So I think, yeah, I like how this turned out. So there you go. Remember, start going up and down here on the right. You know, um, your title and your embellishments kind of going this way. Your title, where the two lines meet, your picture. You know, combine some of the stamp stars with something a little bit more solid so everything pops. Go with a more neutral background too, so everything pops nicely. But I love how this looks like. And like I said, my little triangles. So I'm gonna flip the camera. I did it perfect on time. Less than an hour and a half. So great for me. Let's see. I'm just getting up a bit before I flip the camera. I can see you guys. I'm not promising the pictures today. I'll probably tomorrow. So we'll talk about it. But it'll be within the next 2 days. Nothing is going to change. So don't think you're gonna get the good pictures and close up. But I won't change my page. It's done, and that's. So if you want to replicate it, you can go ahead. Let me just flip the camera. There you go. See? I'm here now. Thank you so much for joining me. So I'm drinking water because I'm like really thirsty. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope this gives you an idea on how to use the kits, especially if you're having questions about how can you take advantage of the beautiful stamp set, the star. It is one that you want to add. Think about the possibilities. Like if you're doing school stuff, it's great, but it just gives you an idea to give it more of like a mixed media look to it. So it just gives you another option in case you don't want to see the letters. Just use the color kit to make it give it that watercolor look for it. As always, if you have any questions, leave it on the comment section here. I will add the picture and the close-ups to Facebook and also to Instagram so you can see it. You can also contact me there. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you, Kim, and everybody that's here, and Kimberly for helping out with questions because sometimes I miss stuff. Sorry, it's hard for me to do this and this at the same time. I try my best. But thank you for joining me. And I think back in I think it's 2 weeks with another idea. So we'll work on something else in between. But I hope to see you soon. As always, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. There's lots of content, and also check the kits. They're available right now. So thank you guys. Take care.